Welcome to the Big Fred Show. How is everybody doing? We are kind of in an exciting mood tonight. We've got a crazy show for you. We've got lots of good guests and we're going to have some fun. We're here at the Mustang Cafe, a.k.a. the Mustang Hall of Fame. You name it. If it had something to do with Loretta, it's in this building here, right here. I mean, at some point.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
I'm still wondering why I'm not in it.
We got to fix that.
I mean, I'm not in the Hall of Fame, and I'm a Hall of Famer. What's the problem?
We'll get that Facebook page started.
I never even like betted against my team. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm heartbroken.
We're gonna fix that for you, bro. We're gonna get James Paul. We're gonna get James Paul in the Mustang Hall of Fame here because
protest with signs and everything.
Hashtag put James in. That's what we got to use, that hashtag, y'all. Hashtag put James in.
Now, do it. National news.
Set a national record.
Oh wow. Pettis is telling us he's involved in a national game.
I was.
Yeah. Loretta had 10 touchdown passes thrown on them in one ball game.
See, that one doesn't count. Doesn't count. I played offense, not defense. Wasn't my fault.
Set a national record. That's all I
It's out of James's hands. It's out of his hands.
Well, when they play defense, they did. We would have won. I'm just saying. Should have put me on defense.
So how's your week been, brother?
It's been okay. A little slow.
How's the leg doing?
It's still there. Trust me. It lets me know every morning.
That arthritis sets in now is what's happening.
Yeah. The old man syndrome.
Welcome to adulthood, brother. I mean, I get up every morning.
Don't like it.
Do about 2 or 3 limps. I'm good to go, brother. It's all good. So, we got some cool guests tonight. What do you think about it? We got a drummer / candidate for county executive going to be on the show tonight. T.R. Williams will be with us. We've got a candidate for district attorney. Chaz Molder will be with us tonight. And we've got a special guest from the EBGB Motorcycle Club tonight. We've got some of them boys coming to talk to us, and we are excited about tonight, y'all. And it's going to be a action-packed, fun-filled show is all I can tell you. And if you got any questions or comments you want to ask the candidates or ask one of our guests, get on our Facebook page, The Big Fred Show at MustangsTV.com. Go ask the question on there, and we will do our best to get that question answered for you. So we're going to come back in a little bit and take a break, and when we come back, we'll let this party begin. So we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. Glad you tuned in to the Big Fred Show on Mustangs TV. Also, don't forget, tune in each and every Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. That is Sports Talk Mania with Lee Haygood. I am Lee Haygood, and I will be your host through Sports Talk Mania. We'll talk anything and everything about sports, and every now and then we might throw something else in there. Check it out. Every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, only on MustangsTV.com.
Hey folks, this is Ben Luna, and you're watching The Big Fred Show on Mustangs TV.
And we're back. We're here with the Big Fred Show at the Mustang Cafe. We've got a guest with us tonight. We've got Chaz Molder. He's a candidate for the now becoming vacant district attorney seat, which has been held by Mike Bottoms for quite some times. And I'm going to tell you, those are some quite large shoes to fill. I mean, I've known Mike for years. I've been in Kiwanis with him for a while, and he's a cool dude. And so, Chaz, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Just, give us all the particulars and all that cool, fun stuff.
Well, I will do that. And first of all, let me just say I've had a lot of good experiences over the past couple of years as I've been running for DA, a lot of high honors. But what an honor it is to be in Loretta, Tennessee on the Big Fred Show. One of these days, you're going to be even more big time than you are now. And by golly, I will remember the July 24th date that we were down here at the Mustang Cafe. But my name is Chaz Mulder, and I'm running for district attorney. As you mentioned, General Bottoms for the first time in 32 years is hanging it up, and he will not be running for that office. And so we've been running a good, positive, clean campaign. That's the way that I believe it should be run. Exactly. I'm bringing a generation to the table that I think is tired of negative politics, and so we've made a commitment to stay on a positive message. We do certainly applaud General Bottoms' 32 years, but we're ready to bring some new vision and some new leadership to the office. I'm from Murray County, born and raised there, although lately my wife has been questioning if I need to establish a residence in Lawrence County because I'm spending so much time down here. We're glad to have you. Well, I may just do that. It's been a good experience, and I've spent a lot of time down here, but the best part about running for office is getting to meet the people, and we've met a lot of good folks down here, made a lot of lifelong friends, and so we're just really excited. I will say that although I live in Columbia, it's a 4-county district. Murray, Lawrence, Giles, and Wayne County make up the 22nd Judicial District, and so we're really excited about the potential of really doing some things for a positive way to reduce crime and to be more visible in the community as we look forward to starting this term on September if we're elected, and we think we will be.
Right. Well, so you've been on this campaign trail. Like, did you buy a good pair of shoes? That's what I always hear people talk about. My mom, she worked I grew up in I guess you could say politics. My mom worked for Kenneth Weathers, which was one of our county clerks. Right. And she worked with him for probably 14 years. And so, I'm no stranger to, helping people politic. Matter of fact, I politicked for him one summer and lost 75 pounds. I rode my bicycle all over South Lawrence County campaigning for him. So what's the I guess what I'm asking is where's the craziest place you've been? I mean, like, where's that been?
Well, I'll say there was one day where I went to 4 fish fries in the same day. Oh, wow. And, when you go to a fish fry, you can't turn down the food because they expect you to eat their fish if they made it and you're there. And so that was a tough day, but we persevered. A lot of times people will say, well, how have you not gained any weight? You've been eating everywhere you go. And so one of the things that I've really enjoyed doing is running in some 5Ks across the district. And there's been several 5Ks. In fact, I was down here on July 4th in Loretta for the Sacred Heart July 4th 5K. There was a great turnout. Hundreds of people ran, and that was just a great day down here in South Lawrence County, and I look forward to being back here next year. As far as craziest places, I don't know that one would particularly stand out, but I can tell you I drive an old beat-up Ford Explorer, and I'm just praying that it lasts me through the election because it's a pretty common Saturday in particular where I will travel the 4 counties back and forth and back again. I'll put a couple hundred miles on it on a Saturday, and that's a pretty regular day for me. But we've really been working hard. We're doing everything we possibly can to meet people because I think people are really excited about what we bring to the table, and that is some new vision and some new leadership in that office. And so it's been a great ride, and we can see the finish lines in sight, and we're looking forward to that finish line because, again, we think with the message and the campaign that we've run that we'll be successful.
Right. So, like, what is your vision as far as, like, being the DA? What is one thing you want to crack down on? What is your zero tolerance?
Well, I'll tell you, there's actually 3 things that our message has been from the very beginning. It's been consistent, and we've not wavered from this. The first thing is, of course, the meth problem. Exactly. We all know that Lawrence County and in all of the counties in our judicial district has a meth problem. We have got to take a hold of that before it takes a hold of us. I've seen meth ruin people's lives. I'm in the private sector now. I've represented individuals who've been addicted to meth. I've seen it not just ruin their life, but also the life of their family, who they're supporting, who rely on them. So we've got to come up with some creative ways to start fighting back the meth problem. If not, it's going to take us over. Also, the prescription pain pill problem here in Lawrence County and all of our counties. Has become a problem. We have to take care of those who are abusing the system, doctor shopping, but also those doctors that are passing the pills out to someone that might not need the pill or might pass it out more expeditiously than they should. And then the third thing would be the repeat offenders. So oftentimes in our courthouse, we see the same faces over and over again. People are tired of it. Probation is probation. There's not going to be 20 different chances at probation. You're going to get one chance if you get probation, and that's going to be it. And in some cases, you might not even have the opportunity for that.
No 3 strikes and you're out.
In my opinion, probation is designed for the person that makes a mistake. And so we are going to look at those cases carefully and know that if you're on probation, that's a privilege. And if you abuse that privilege, then you're going to be revoked from your probation. And so what we will not see under my administration is a revolving door of the same faces coming in and out of there, because they're going to know that this district attorney is going to stand firm. And if you get a sentence, you're going to be expected to serve that sentence.
Well, that's awesome. We definitely need to stop the revolving door, and we've got so much. I see a lot of domestic violence. We see a lot of, and there's a lot of child abuse coming up. I mean, how is your stance on issues like taking care of domestic violence? Like I took part in a project not too long ago, and it's still happening right now, but it's called a batterers intervention program. And what it's designed for is they get them, I guess you could say, get them while they're young, and they put them through this 6-month long program. And it's like, and they've got a very good percentage rate of people that are repeat offenders. They've had very little of them, and I think, really and honestly, I think something like that needs to happen in all 4 counties. There needs to be something like that as far as domestic violence. And like, what would you say to something like that happening in?
Well, I can say a couple of things. First of all, I wholeheartedly agree with you that in order to have a solution to some of these problems, we have to take a comprehensive approach. There's not going to be just one magic solution that's going to solve the problem. Going back to the meth problem, I think if we implement a drug court in this county or in this judicial district, to where if we get that person that's committed to turning their life around and rehabilitating themselves, and we save 1 out of maybe 20, that's a success in my opinion. And speaking of the domestic violence problem, particularly in Murray County, which is where I live, it was a huge issue, and it continues to be a huge issue. And so what we have to do is focus on the education component, because if people don't want to change their ways, and they're going to continue to go back out there and do the same thing over and over again. So the intervention program that you mentioned is a great program. There are several other programs out there that are available through grants. There are other programs out there that exist now that are already undergoing in our judicial district. And so again, I think it's one of those things where we can't just expect one solution to the problem, because the problem is multifaceted. We have to focus on several solutions to have a long-term impact. I certainly believe that the education, again, is a key component. One of the things I would like to do is be a more visible district attorney. I want to get into the schools, let the young children see the DA in a positive light. If they wait until they get to the courthouse to see the DA, that means generally they've either been victimized by crime, which is not good, or they've been charged by crime, which is not good. So either way, it's a lose-lose. And so if we can get out in front, get into the schools, get into the community centers, get into the Boys and Girls Clubs, and let them see that the DA is actually someone who is doing good things, and don't go the path of crime, go the path of getting an education and furthering yourself, then I think we can start seeing a long-term impact on crime reduction. And as we all know, when we have crime reduction, we'll have a job creation, we'll have better education. All of it is intertwined with one another. And so crime reduction is certainly a key component of economic development.
Exactly. So you do a lot of riding, so I imagine you get to listen to a lot of radio and probably wore out a bunch of CDs at the same time. So let me ask you this: what is your jam? What gets you pumped up to go campaigning?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot here. I tell you, there's a lot of songs that can get me fired up. I tell you right now, the song that I really like is the Happy song. The guy's name escapes me. That's right. That song, to me, it's just such a positive message. I like being happy. I like staying positive. I like avoiding negative things in life. I think if we fall into a trap of negativity, that's how we'll act in just our demeanor. And so I like to stay happy. I like to stay positive. And so that song really pumps me up right now.
That's cool.
I'll also have to say sorry to take the mic from you, but my 4-year-old little girl happens to like Frozen, and although I'm not going to sing it for you on the air, I can sing all the lyrics to the Let It Go song, so I listen to that quite often as well.
Sweet. Well, I totally understand because I have a 4-year-old too. I have a boy, and I catch myself singing. I'll catch myself singing Yo Gabba Gabba or Thomas the Train, I know exactly what you're going through. Mickey Mouse, that's huge. So, but yeah, so what is tell me what Chaz Motors like when you're at the house, like when you're just home hanging out. What is some stuff you like to do?
Well, I'm an avid jogger. That's how I keep my energy. I jog every morning at 5 a.m. If I don't jog, my day is not a good day. I think that keeps me going. My number one priority is my faith and my family. I have a 4-year-old little girl and a 1-year-old son, and they're everything to me. Of course, my wife, we just had an anniversary, and she's an awful lot to me too. And so spending time with my family is what I would enjoy doing more than anything. I did go to the University of Tennessee, so if you were to scratch me up here, I'd start bleeding orange, and I am proud to say that I think Butch Jones is going to get us back on track, and one of these days we're going to beat Alabama again. See, when I was at UT, we were actually pretty good, and Alabama wasn't even on the radar, and so I'm proud to say that I graduated in 4 years because all of my friends wanted to stay that extra semester so we could play another football season. Nowadays, people want to get out of there in 3 years because we've been so terrible, but I will tell you that Butch Jones is putting us back on the map, and if you're an Alabama fan, which I'm sensing that you are, you better watch out because Butch Jones is coming for you.
Oh, well, since we're on the topic of football, all right, we've got football season starting up, and obviously the trash talk is already started. That's pretty clear. It ain't even August yet, and we're starting a trash talk. Who is your who would you say would be your dark horse pick for the SEC this year?
Well, I'll go ahead and make a prediction, and that prediction is undoubtedly that the winner of the national championship for this year and as well as the SEC championship will be the University of Tennessee. That's my prediction every year. That's how I always start off my season, and until we lose that first game, that will be my prediction. And I'm serious. I do think that the Vols have a good opportunity this year to really make some inroads, and who knows, we may win the SEC East, we may win the SEC and win the national championship, and until we lose that first game, I'm going to go with that. I do think that there are a lot of teams, though, in the SEC that will be competing again for a championship. Of course, you have to put Alabama in the mix in the West, and in the East, it seems like Georgia may have another good season coming up, and who knows?
They can keep all these players out of trouble.
Well, that seems to be a problem with a lot of teams, and of course, Steve Spurrier over in South Carolina seems to always put his consistent team together, and then of course down in Gainesville too, you have to figure that at some point Will Muschamp is going to get those boys back out there playing the type of football that Florida has played.
I'm telling you, you talk about Florida. I think I get worried watching Will Muschamp coach because one of these days he's going to stroke out on the field. I mean, I just want to know what kind of blood pressure medicine dude takes.
It's pretty extensive, I would think.
I mean, goodness. And then you talk about Steve Spurrier. I mean, to me, he's kind of the grumpy old man of the SEC. He's that guy that sprays you with a water hose and tells you, get out of my yard. That's kind of my view on him. But I agree with you. And the fact that you are a down fan, you're not, you don't be, well, I think blah, 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 I think this, I like the fact that you're a down guy. I
told you, we stay positive, and I'm going to always be positive, and until Tennessee loses that first game, I'm going to predict a national championship.
So you got your brick by brick ready then, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, I hope we get to tear it down come October 25th. Speaking of that, what's it going to be like when, I guess in y'all's eyes, the devil himself, Lane Kiffin, comes back in wearing crimson?
Well, I think as with most Tennessee fans, we were not happy with how that went down, to say the least. Although I think that he will get some boos and some jeers, but I think we'll also treat him as any SEC team would, and he'll get most likely some applause from his Crimson fans that'll be in Neyland, but he'll also get quite a few boos from the orange and white. It'll be interesting to see how the response is. I know that at the Crimson and White game, the offense sort of struggled. I don't know if that's a sign of Lane Kiffin or what.
offense.
Well, but you got Lane Kiffin running the show now, so that may be a bad sign for you. But no, I think that'll be an interesting sight. I'll be looking forward to being at that game, which as a season ticket holder, I will definitely be at the Alabama game.
Oh, wow. Well, Chaz, I'm tickled you came, and I'm happy you came to be on the show, and come back anytime.
If I could just say one more thing, again, I want to say what an honor it was to be here on the Big Fred Show. I will look back on this years from now knowing that I was in Loretta and I made it to the radio, and I appreciate you having me. But I also want to say that one of the best parts about running for office, in addition to meeting so many people, which we've met thousands of people, and talking to so many people, is getting to meet the other candidates that are running, including my own opponent, but not just for the district attorney's office, but for all of the offices. Of course, in Lawrence County, as we know, it's a big election year. There's a lot of races that are not just on the ballot, but that are open for the first time. There are a lot of incumbents running. There are a lot of challengers running. But I think that regardless of the outcome of these elections, Lawrence County is in good hands. I'm very optimistic about the future of this county. I've grown to love this county, and I look forward to serving this county as its next district attorney general.
Cool. Well, Chaz, thank you for coming, and good luck to you in the election.
Thank you, Big Fred.
Anytime, brother. Come back and see us, and we'll be happy to have you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Elite Sports in Loretto, Tennessee offers serious sports training for athletes of all ages. Our hands-on training approach can increase core strength and stability while maximizing power and agility. Call John Passarella, 256-710-7412 for speed and agility training, or David Weathers, 931-279-0574. Call today. Elite Sports, we're training the best athletes for tomorrow.
At Southern Craft Manufacturing, our commitment to choice sets us apart. Using both old-world craftsmanship and modern techniques, we proudly provide the finest quality and greatest value caskets in the industry. Founder Rodney Robinson is a third-generation casket manufacturer, providing the highest quality finished product. Call toll-free 800-413-1778, Southern Craft Manufacturing on North Main Street in Loretta, Tennessee.
Hey, this is Kenny Beckman, and you're watching the Big Fred Show on MustangsTV.com.
We're back. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got some more guests with us. We have with us right now T.R. Williams, and he's a candidate for county executive, which is a pretty big job in Lawrence County. I mean, it is, and we're happy to have T.R. on, and I'm thrilled. And one thing I've learned about T.R., I got informed T.R. is a fellow drummer. Yep. So that's a positive in my book that you're a drummer, because we're I guess you could say brothers of the stick, I guess is what you could say. So TR, glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself right now.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Five Points, Tennessee. Went to school at a little place called Barnertown in elementary school, and then started at Loretta High School and graduated Loretta High School in '71. Went to college at Columbia State and the University of Arkansas. Came back and met my wife, Connie, that I've been married to for 36 years. Got 2 daughters, 5 grandchildren that I've grown very fond of.
Oh, wow.
And that's one of the reasons that I'm running for this office. I'm doing something for the next generation. I've made my living. Lawrence County has been very good to me. And I'm very proud to call Lawrence County my home. Right. But I want to make sure that our children are able to have the same kind of quality of life that I had growing up in Lawrence County, and then my grandchildren have that same quality of life growing up here in Lawrence County as well. Exactly. And make sure that we're able to keep our middle-class families here in Lawrence County, that we don't continue to lose our middle-class families like we currently are.
Exactly. Well, I guess, we all know a hot button issue is, we've got schools and stuff. And like you said, with your grandchildren and whatnot, what is one of your strategies to, keep the school system going and keep it up, and, make sure our future has the best education possible that it can possibly get? What is your plans as far as like working with the school board and making sure Lawrence County school system stays on top? What is one of your strategies?
The most important thing that we've got to do is to go out and create new revenues for Lawrence County. Inflation is overtaking every one of us. Our current budget is being affected by inflation at the tune of $1.1 million a year. And nobody's even talked about that, how inflation is eating away. It's one of the problems that the school board is faced with right now, the inflation of fuel and maintenance and the upkeep of our schools. So the problem's going to continue to go on. The challenge that we have is that we've got to begin to really quickly begin to generate additional revenues by bringing in new tax dollars through new business, creating new jobs, and not only that, but increasing the pay range that we have on those jobs. It's not just about getting jobs that are $8 an hour jobs. I'm talking about getting jobs that are in the upper scale to recreate those middle class families, $18, $20, $25 an hour jobs. Now those are not easy to get. They're far and few between, but if we work hard at that, that's the challenge, and that's what we got to do. We've got to increase our revenue base while keeping our tax base low, because that's what makes us attractive to the other people that want to locate here. But I noticed Loretta High School, the gym at Loretta High School is the same gym that I had when I was started there in 1967, and it had been there for several years prior to that. So our schools are way overdue for upgrades and to modernize our schools. And it's not a matter of are they properly funded, it's a matter of the availability of funding. And so we've got to figure out a plan and got to start working on it right now to put together a 3 to 5 year plan on how we're going to maintain our schools, how we're going to make sure that our kids are getting the right kind of education, how we're going to keep up with technology. And that takes money to do that. And so we've got to work very, very hard at bringing in new industry and new jobs to do that. We've got elderly people that can't stand high tax rates, and so just raising taxes is not the answer, because every time you do that, you make yourself less attractive to bring in new industry and people that want to relocate into Lawrence County. The optimum is to bring in new jobs and to bring in new businesses so that we generate new tax dollars through that.
Right. And that's the thing about Lawrence County is I think Lawrence County is in a unique spot. I mean, we're kind of halfway in between everything. So, I mean, you know, having the excuse of, well, just saying, well, Giles County's closer to the interstate, you know, well, that shouldn't matter. I mean, I see a lot of trucks coming through Lawrence County, and I see a lot of trucks going east and going west, and, you know, they have to pass through Lawrence County at some point in time. So, you know, why not try to get these you know, these people that have these big trucks driving their stuff through Lawrence County, why not try to get them to come? I mean, well, that's what I think about Lawrence County when I see stuff, and I'm out driving a delivery van, so I see it all the time. So, well, so we've got the school, we got school systems, and we got economic growth. I mean, are you more of a manufacturing, we got to get manufacturing, or are you more for just, hey, we're glad to have you, come give us a chance? I mean, what is your views on economic development?
Obviously, I'm not going to turn down anybody that wants to come. Anybody that wants to come and create jobs, no matter how big or how small they are. Any job today. I mean, if you can get a job that comes in that has 10 people that's going to pay a good wage in that's putting economy and dollars back into Lawrence County. So we're not going to turn anybody down that wants to come. Obviously, you would like to have those larger paying jobs and the manufacturing positions that would come in that would create several jobs for our county. You're mentioning about all these trucks coming through. Lawrence County is located within 600 miles of over 50% of the U.S. population. We're right in the center of everything that's going on. We're in the center of all the automotive industries that are around us. There are first and second, third tier suppliers that supply those. Saturn or GM, Nissan, Toyota, Volkswagen, they all have common suppliers. And so it's about going to visit those people, find out who those suppliers are, and getting off our laurels and going and visiting them. You can't just sit around and wait for something to happen. I made a statement the other day that if you always do what you've always done, you'll always have what you've always had. And if you do nothing, that's exactly the results you'll produce. Exactly. There's a law of motion that says that for every action there is an opposite and an equal reaction. Nothing will get you that same reaction. Nothing. So you've got to do something. Are we going to fail? Sure, we'll miss some deals, but you always miss 100% of the shots you never take. Exactly. If we're working and we're aggressive, we're going to hit some stuff. And it's just a matter of us continuing to work very hard, finding out who these people are, being aggressive, being proactive rather than reactive. We've got Modine in Lawrenceburg. We've got Dura in Lawrenceburg. We've got manufacturing here in Loretta. There's Iron City has a stamping company. I mean, we've got all kinds of opportunities around us. There are several businesses there in Lawrenceburg, some in north of us a little bit. But there are all kinds of opportunities for us to not only bring in new industry, but how about we grow the existing industry that we already have? How about us visiting those plant managers who are already here and finding out what does it take for you to expand your business, and what do we need to do as Lawrence County citizens? What do we need to do, Loretta, to help your citizens down here and your business owners grow their businesses here in Loretta? What do we need to do to attract new industries here? Loretta has some great industrial park and great opportunity here. There are companies out there that will be great fits for Loretta. There are companies here that will be great fits for Lawrenceburg. If we can move some even further north, I'm not opposed to putting them anywhere they want to go, but you have to be aggressive in this, and we're right in the middle of a hub here. There's great opportunities for us. I've told somebody I feel like we've been on Gilligan's Island, and all these ships have been going by, and we haven't even been waving at them. You know, so I want to start a fire in Lawrence County so that the ships don't just keep passing us by, that they notice us and they come and stay with us. That's right.
Well, TR, so you're a drummer. What kind are you currently playing right now?
Well, I'm playing in my garage. Yeah.
What's your setup? What kind of setup are you playing on?
I've got a set of Tama drums, and I play Zildjian cymbals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I currently have Aquarian drum heads. First time I've ever tried the Aquarian drum heads.
Awesome, or what?
They are very good. Very good. They're easy to tune, no over-ring. I got a super kick drum. Doesn't have to have a pillow or a blanket or any kind of a damper in it. And so I got the Zildjian A-Series cymbals. I really like those.
You can't go wrong with Zildjian.
No, and so I go out and I practice in my garage. I still play and just to stay in shape.
All right. Well, what is like me myself? I play everything from symphony orchestra to heavy metal. I mean, I'm a non-discriminate drummer, but you know, when it comes down to it, I like playing good old Southern rock music because I think it's good for the soul. I mean, Southern rock music is good for us. So, what is what is something like when you hear it on the radio? What is your like? Oh man, and you're just air drumming. It doesn't matter if you're frozen food section at Walmart or frozen or you're looking at Goodwill. If you hear it come on the radio and you're like air drumming, what is that song?
I guess probably the first song that I heard that really got my attention for a drummer was back in the early 70s. I became a fan of Aerosmith. Oh. And Walk This Way was probably one of those songs that had the riff that just, it's a fun song to play as a drummer.
Oh, it's great.
And that was a song that just snatched me. And I just, one of those songs that you crank up and turn up, and it's been a timeless song. And over the years, you know, it's still there, and when you hear it, it still sounds current.
It's timeless. I mean,
yeah, it's timeless. And so you know, I came up through one of the best eras, I guess, coming up through the 70s, because
I'm jealous.
There was, every time you turned on the radio and you bought a new tape, and of course we had the 8-track tapes.
8-track.
Yeah, and sometimes you'd play them so much they'd start dragging. You'd have to push them off to the side and put a cigarette butt or a chewing gum wrapper over in the corner to make it play. And so, and you had those 4 tracks. If you wanted to hear a song, you had to wait till it played through, and then you push it back over. But there was so much music coming out in the 70s. So many groups like Molly Hatchet, Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers, and Charlie Daniels, and you just Outlaws. You just go on and on and on and on with the music that was occurring back then, and so many great groups. You couldn't keep up with them. You literally. You didn't have enough money,
you
so
couldn't be having just one favorite because there were so many great ones out there.
We didn't have a lot of money back then as kids just starting out on their careers. So what we'd do is I'd buy one CD, talk my buddy into buy one of the other, so that we could swap those around and listen to them. But there was just so much great music that came out into the 70s, and I think that was the best generation for music.
Oh, hands down. There's no question about it. So, you grew up in the 70s, so obviously – when I hear 70s music, I think Led Zeppelin. I think, Black Sabbath. Because when I started playing, one of the first drummers I ever saw was John Bonham. And I heard him playing Whole Lot of Love, and you hear that opening. Duh, 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 duh. I heard that, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. And then, first album I ever bought was Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. That was the very first album. And I must say, her picture's right above us, but that sister lady right there, Sister Morris. I'm an alumni of Sacred Heart in Loretta, so we were in third grade talking about our favorite artists and who we liked, and everybody was Michael Jackson and Tina Turner and Madonna. Well, they get to me, and I said Ozzy Osbourne. Well, so naturally, I got took to the office. Got the whole devil worshiping speech, and went home, and I was kind of teared up. And I told Mom, I said, Mom, I'm going to hell. And she said, what? I said, I like Ozzy Osbourne, Mama. I'm going to hell. And so every time I hear Bark at the Moon come on the radio, I just kind of chuckle a little bit and think about good old Sister Morris at Sacred Heart, and I give her kind of a point up and say, I hope you're listening, and you were a good lady, but I still love Ozzy, and I'm going to heaven, so, But, yeah, so, TR, I'm tickled you came, brother.
That's good to be
here. I wish you all the luck, and me and my sidekick, James Paul, you'll have to come back because we have talking drums.
Yeah, all right.
That's a segment. Here, look here.
This guy taught me everything I know, so if I'm terrible, it's his fault. first drum set.
Yeah.
So James Paul's first drum set actually belongs to TR. So there's your Big Fred Show tie-in to TR Williams, So, but TR, we'll have to have you back. Maybe we can set up some drums and all of us kind of jam. Guitar players always sit around and they do their picking. You can tell that when you go to music shops. You go to music shops, 3 drummers get together, play a good. You're too loud. But you can have everything from Charlie Daniels to Metallica playing out in the guitar. That's perfectly fine. But 3 drummers together, we got to get that done. Come back and play drums with us. Are you in?
I'll do it. My buddies that I've always played with over the years, of course, drummers are the butt of every joke.
Exactly.
We've had people ask how many musicians you have in a band. They'll say 5 and a drummer. We got 5 musicians and a drummer, so we've never got in the group. But I'd love to do that sometime.
That'd be fun.
I was asked a question earlier tonight about if I still like catfish because I've eaten so much catfish over this campaign trail, and I really think I can breathe underwater now. I've had so much catfish to eat. But I was asked the question tonight if I still like catfish and where my favorite catfish was, and I said yes, I still like catfish, and I wanted to say that Mustang Grill or Mustang Cafe is where I still come to eat catfish when I want catfish. So I'm not completely turned off. Bill has still got the best catfish I've had, so I come to Mustang to eat catfish.
I come here one time, me and my wife came down, we come down to eat, and I thought, I'm hungry, so I got the large filet. Well, I literally thought that it was loaves and fishes all over again because I think that plate got bigger as the more I ate. I was bound and determined I was going to eat all of it, but I'd had to wear it if I tried. But yeah, I'm wholeheartedly right there. Bill's catfish rocks. Little hot sauce, little ketchup, can't beat it. But TR, appreciate you coming, brother, and good luck to you. And come back and see us anytime. You always are welcome on the Big Fred Show.
I appreciate that.
Come
Thank
back
you
and play
very much.
drums with us.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good one. We'll be right back, y'all.
You are number one Mustang fans. Auto Owners Insurance and Loretto Insurance Services, a winning combination. We'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call Loretto Insurance Services in Loretto today, 931-853-7126.
Hey folks, this is Ben Luna, and you're watching The Big Fred Show on Mustangs TV.
Elite Sports in Loretto, Tennessee offers serious sports training for athletes of all ages. Our hands-on training approach can increase core strength and stability while maximizing power and agility. Call John Passarella, 256-710-7412 for speed and agility training, or David Weathers, 931-279-0574. Call today. Elite Sports, we're training the best athletes for tomorrow.
And we're back here at the Mustang Cafe on the Big Fred Show. You can tune in and watch us on MustangsTV.com, or you can look us up on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is LHS Athletics. Look us up there, and you can watch as many Big Fred shows as yourself can handle. And personally, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't like watching my ugly mug that much on there, but, you know, I think it's kind of cool. But we got a special guest here with us, and he's really a good friend of mine. This is Robert Gentry, and he's with EBGB Motorcycle Club, and they put on a very cool thing. It's tools for back to school. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about it.
This is the third year that we've been doing this. What it is we try to collect school supplies for children whose mom and daddy might not necessarily be able to afford buying all them supplies, because I've got 3 kids myself, and I know how expensive it can get. But like I said, this is the third year we've done it. This year we're hoping to help out 3 schools: Etheridge, Ingram Sal, and Summertown Elementary Schools. So
that's awesome. So ABGBs, tell us a little bit about the history of the ABGB Motorcycle Club. How did it come to fruition?
The EBGBs has been around probably close to 20 years now. It's kind of died off, and then now it's kind of really come back strong here in Lawrence County. Our clubhouse is up in Etheridge. We've been around now for about 3 years here in Lawrence County.
Right. So if you want to donate and want to bring something, is there a specific drop-off location that you can bring it to?
The ride will start somewhere around 11 o'clock on Saturday, so if you want to bring school supplies up, there'll be members of the club up there probably somewhere around 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, so you can just drop off supplies at the clubhouse. We have a drop box at BJ's Bar up on top of Powder Mill Hill, and we also have a drop box at the Owl's Nest up in Etheridge. So anytime you want to try to drop off supplies, you can drop them off there.
Drop them off there. So I think this is a great thing, and I've told several people that I would rather have 1,000 of y'all in the community. I mean, people look at us, look at y'all and think, man, I bet they're a rough bunch of people. Actually, I've gotten to know several of the EBGBs, and they're some of the coolest people you'll ever meet. I mean, down to earth, I ain't gonna say quiet, because you can't say quiet and be a motorcycle club. I mean.
Yeah, there's quite a few of us, and most of us all are blue collar workers. I work for Gentry Drilling, doing water wells. A bunch of our guys, D-Rail works in construction. Everybody's down to earth. We just try to help out the community any way we can, doing rides. Your local motorcycle folks, we normally raise probably somewhere around $20,000 a year for different things. You know, the Ride for Mom, which is the big event that happens up in at BJ's Bar on Memorial Day weekend. That's a big, huge cancer benefit that normally does somewhere in the range of $10,000 to $15,000 every year. That helps out folks that's got cancer. That's all it's there for. Small children all the way up through adults, because, you know, cancer's one of them bad, super bad diseases that, you know, it puts you out of work if you're somebody that works. If it's a small child, mom and daddy has to take off work to take you to chemo. So, you know, you've got a lot of out-of-pocket expenses on that. Then, like I said, we do the back-to-school run. This is the third year. We done a toy run last year. We plan on doing that again this year to get toys for children. So anytime a need arises, we try to help out any way we can, which then again, there's so many different things that goes on, it's hard to schedule a lot of stuff.
So, do y'all is the ride itself open for other riders that, you know, might not be in the club, or just, you know, are bike enthusiasts, or is it open for them, or how does it work out?
All these rides are open to anybody. You know, I've been in rides where if you didn't even have a bike, people drove cars in the ride.
Oh, wow.
We just put the cars towards the back. So, you know, a ride like this, anybody's more than welcome to show up, bring your school supplies or a $10 donation and come along for the ride. We're doing something a little different this year. There's a benefit going on at Dixie Oaks golf course for a little boy that we're actually going to stop in there. They're doing a $10 lunch plate, and we're going to stop in there and eat dinner, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the ride that day. So I'm all about the twofers.
You got to stop and eat somehow, so why not? You're doing it for a good cause. So, what exactly? I'm just gonna say your bike is awesome. He rides one of the coolest bikes I've ever saw. I mean, and I've known Mr. Everybody calls you Mr. Gentry, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Gentry is a great dude. I mean, I think the world of him, and he's got the coolest bike. So if you're ever in a ride, I highly suggest you get up there and you ride with Mr. Gentry, because it's an experience. I mean, and the thing I like about y'all's club is y'all make everybody feel welcome. You know, y'all don't. It ain't like there's. You know, y'all get rid of that whole motorcycle club stigmata.
Yeah.
You know, oh, wow, they got back patches. Don't go around with them. Don't go over there with them. You know, y'all are like, hey, come hang out with us. I mean, say somebody wants to might be interested in joining a club, you know, wanting to ride with a club. How would they go about? What would they need to do?
Well, the only real rules we have to our club is you need to ride a Harley Davidson or an American-made motorcycle. And if you've got that and you want to come hang out with us, you know, come hang out. It takes a little time because this is a brotherhood. You know, I'll die and bleed for my brothers. That's how much I love them.
That's awesome.
So, you know, come hang out, get to know us, ride with us. You know, time. Put in the time. The other little boy, that's why I pulled this out. His name is Sawyer Carlton, which is the other benefit going on that day. And like I said, it's at Dixie Oaks Golf Course.
Sawyer. Hey, speaking of Sawyer, I did my cold water challenge for Sawyer. That's a great charity to help out and whatnot. I appreciate it. Well, Robert, I appreciate you coming on, brother. I mean, you're welcome anytime y'all got something going on. Don't hesitate.
Before we go, I've got to give him my beard spotlight of the week. I mean, this is the beard my beard wants to be. I mean, this is where it's going. This is baby stage. This is full-grown stage bearding. That's amazing.
That's a whole lot of fur going on in this spot right here, y'all. Robert, thank you for coming on. Come back and see us, brother.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. Glad you tuned in to the Big Fred Show on Mustangs TV. Also, don't forget, tune in each and every Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. That is Sports Talk Mania with Lee Haygood. I am Lee Haygood, and I will be your host through Sports Talk Mania. We'll talk anything and everything about sports, and every now and then we might throw something else in there. Check it out. Every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, only on MustangsTV.com.
Hey, this is Kenny Beckman, and you're watching the Big Fred Show on MustangsTV.com.
At Southern Craft Manufacturing, our commitment to choice sets us apart. Using both old-world craftsmanship and modern techniques, we proudly provide the finest quality and greatest value caskets in the industry. Founder Rodney Robinson is a third-generation casket manufacturer, providing the highest quality finished product. Call toll-free 800-413-1778, Southern Craft Manufacturing on North Main Street in Loretto, Tennessee.
We're back. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm telling you, what a show tonight. How about it, y'all? Good show? Woo-hoo! Good show. Yeah. We got Tom Du Bois with us here, and if I'm not mistaken, I always get this wrong. You're running for Circuit Court Judge, right?
Good.
Did I get it right?
That's correct. Circuit Court Judge, 22nd Judicial District.
So, tell us a little bit. You've been on the campaign trail. You've been hustling it around and whatnot. Have you had a lot of fun campaigning?
Oh, I have. It's not hard to campaign. You get to come to places like the Mustang Cafe and enjoy some good food, meet some good folks, and make some friendships. And so that's really what campaigning's all about. It's just meeting folks, telling them who you are and why you'd like to serve the community.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about what the Circuit Court Judge does.
Well, the Circuit Court Judge, they actually handle 4 counties. It'd be Lawrence County, Giles, Wayne, and Murray. We would travel around to the different counties depending on what kind of cases were going on. We actually, there's a General Sessions Court, which, as many of you may know, it's in the courthouse. They handle most of the smaller cases and misdemeanors. Circuit Court's the next level up. It handles most of the felonies and jury trials. It's what you typically see on TV when you see a trial going on with a jury. That's Circuit Court.
So what's your vision as far as being Circuit Court Judge? What is Tom Du Bois's vision, and what is your zero tolerance on? I mean, what is the one thing that you will not put up with?
Well, I think folks need to have a healthy respect for the court system. They need to know that first, like I'm a city judge now in Columbia. One thing I do is I treat folks the way I would want to be treated if I came to court. So that's my number one rule, is I treat folks with respect and courtesy as I would want to be treated. But also it's time for a change, time that we send some messages out to some of these folks that are causing a lot of the crimes, and there's a lot of repeat offenders. It's time we get tough on those folks and tell them that, hey, we're not going to put up with it in this community. And it's time that you send the message to those folks that it's we're going to have a better community and be more crime free.
Exactly. So I ask this to everybody that's out on the campaign trail. You know, you get a lot of ride time. You get a lot of, you know, what's some of your more funnier moments of being on the campaign trail? Like what's some crazy stuff that's happened to you?
Oh, I'd say crazy stuff. I would say just out walking around, meeting some folks. Yesterday, I saw a family playing basketball, and I got to talk to them, and of course they asked me to play a little basketball with them, and I said, well, as you can tell, I'm not very physically fit to play some basketball right now, but I would appreciate your vote. I am physically fit to be your circuit judge. But it's been a good experience. I've eaten everything from goat stew to beans and catfish about every weekend, and it's been a good experience.
Man, you can't go wrong with some good Southern cooking. So, what what's in your playlist right now? What's the official campaign music of your campaign?
That's a good question. I actually have a CD from a guy named Logan Blade. He's a young man. He's 20, I think 22. He has autism, but he can sing country gospel songs better than anybody I know.
Wow.
And I look him up on Facebook or look him up on or Google his name, Logan Blade. You'd be very impressed. He actually has several good songs, that gospel country songs that have kept me going the last few months. I have to say that's been my number one choice.
Right on. Can't go wrong with that. So, as a city judge, what inspired you to run for circuit court judge? What kind of got you fired up and made you want to run?
Well, I felt like there's time for a change. Not change for the sake of change, but it's time that we're seeing our communities on the 6 and 10 news too often when it comes to crime issues. And I felt like, hey, it's time to step up. It's time to get tough on some of these folks that are repeatedly causing the crime issues in our community. And that's the main thing that got me fired up, that I want to be the conservative choice. I want to be someone that's tough on crime, and these probations being approved over and over, that's got to stop. And that's why I'm running.
It's like time to put them in timeout more often.
Oh, I agree. They don't play well in the sandbox, they go to timeout.
Exactly. Well, Tom, appreciate you coming on.
Well, thank you.
Early voting's happening now.
It is.
And election's August the 7th.
August 7th.
So
2 weeks from tonight.
What would you say to somebody that's watching that might not be an avid voter? What would you say to them to get them to register to vote and to vote, period? Because my mom, my mom worked in the courthouse when I was growing up, so I know all about the stresses of voting. I've never missed an election. So if you could encourage somebody to get out and vote, what would you tell them?
I would say every vote counts. There's been so many elections where there's been a split vote, maybe 5 votes. The difference between the winner and the loser was 5 votes or 10 votes. Every vote counts, and it's time to take back our community. I do think if we can all get involved, that's the one thing that we can do to make this a better place, is to get out and vote and elect the most qualified candidate that cares about making some changes, and that's who I'd like to be, is your candidate for circuit judge.
Sweet. Well, thank you for coming on, and thank you for stopping by. And I'm glad, and you're welcome anytime you want to come by.
Well,
talk to us. We'll talk about anything. I mean, we don't have a format we go by. We're not we've got to do this. We'll talk. If you want to talk basketball, sports, I mean, we're all sports fans, and we're all music fans, and we're all, we'll talk quilting for all we care. I mean, we don't know much about it, but we'll bull crap our way through it. But Tom, thank you for coming, and good luck to you, brother.
Thank you, Big Fred. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to coming back and being on here as your next circuit judge. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again.
Well, come back and see us. We'll be right back, y'all.
Tailgate checklist. Cooler.
Check.
Chips.
Check.
Hot dogs.
Check.
Mustang gear.
Check.
Insurance.
Check.
This season, protect your team with insurance from Auto Owners Insurance and Loretto Insurance Services. Keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Call Loretto Insurance Services in Loretto today. 931-853-7126.
I'm Butch Toner, former head football coach at Loretto High School, and you're watching Mustang TV.
Hey folks, this is Ben Luna, and you're watching The Big Fred Show on Mustangs TV.
Elite Sports in Loretto, Tennessee offers serious sports training for athletes of all ages. Our hands-on training approach can increase core strength and stability while maximizing power and agility. Call John Passarella, 256-710-7412 for speed and agility training, or David Weathers, 931-279-0574. Call today. Elite Sports, we're training the best athletes for tomorrow.
Welcome back. I'm telling you, action-packed show. We've had everybody on tonight. I mean, I hadn't even got to eat all my fried pickles yet. I mean, I don't know. I'll eat them cold because they're that good. I mean, got to have fried pickles from the Mustang. It's awesome. So we got another guest with us. We got Brent Cooper, another candidate for district attorney. And, you know, I said earlier it's being vacated by Mike Bottoms, which, you know, Mike's been in it a long time. And, you know, I know Mike. I've known him for a lot of years. And, you know, and I tell everybody those are some big shoes to fill. I mean, he's definitely made his mark on the judicial history of state of Tennessee, you know. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and, you know, let us know what Brent Cooper's like at home. What kind of stuff do you like to do for fun? Just let us know a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm a Mount Pleasant native. That's where I was raised. But then I moved about 3.5 years ago. Moved to Summertown, so I'm in Lawrence County, and we love it there.
That's where my in-laws are.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell them I met you then. But yeah, we love it there in Summertown. You know, I'm an outdoorsman. I like to hunt, fish. You know, like shoot guns. Just grew up out in the country. Just kind of a country boy. You know, my first jobs were picking up hay and cutting tobacco there in Mount Pleasant, and that's how I bought my first bicycle. And you know, of course, for the past about 1.5 years, I haven't had time to do any of that. I've just been out trying to meet as many people as I can in these 4 counties and get my name out there and hopefully, you know, pick up people's votes.
Well, so tell us what is your vision as the district attorney? What's going to happen in the Brent Cooper regime if you become district attorney? What is going to happen? Tell us a little bit about as far as what you're planning. I know you're going to crack down on everything. What are some of the biggies that you're going to go after and you're going to be relentless about? What are some of the biggies?
Okay, well, of course, everybody that's running for judge or DA, the first thing they're going to say is I'm cracking down on everything and I'm getting rid of, you know, there won't be any crime once I get in there. But I've been a prosecutor for 14 years. I've been the assistant DA in Murray County, handling primarily all of the felony drug cases, which by default makes me the gang prosecutor in Murray County, which by default makes me the homicide prosecutor in Murray County. So for 14 years, I've been battling serious violent crime in Murray County. You know, I've always just had a no-nonsense approach to prosecuting people. I recognize that young people are going to make mistakes, and you don't need to necessarily ruin their life because of something they did because they were just young and dumb. I realize that some people just need help. You know, you may have people that are committing crime only because they have an addiction. And if you can get them the help, get them off the drugs or alcohol, and therefore get them out of the court system, then mission accomplished. But some people need to be taken off the street. You know, your real drug dealers, your gang members, your people that are, you know, preying on other people in your community. They've got to be removed from your society.
Does this district have a gang problem? I've always wondered that. Do we have a legitimate gang problem?
Well, luckily you don't in Lawrence County. You know, you have gang members may travel through Lawrence County, may come down here to make a transaction or something, but as far as I know, there aren't any actual criminal gangs operating in Lawrence County. Murray County has their Columbia Police Department has a unit that's dedicated solely to gang issues. They're gang experts, and they've identified over 20 active criminal gangs in Murray County. 20. Yes, and I've dealt with every one of them in my 14 years of prosecuting, And I know they make forays into these other counties, but fortunately they're pretty well isolated to Murray County, and that's the only place I see any real gang activity, other than, like I said, maybe traveling into another county to make a transaction or something. But I'm ready. Of course, we've been using the laws that are on the books for the past several years in Murray County. We decided, the best way to combat the gang problem is to hit them where they make their money. And they make their money selling cocaine and selling marijuana and selling pills. And we've started going after them. We're buying drugs from them. And if they're selling those drugs within 1,000 feet of a school or a park or a daycare, Tennessee law allows us to send them straight to prison.
Wow.
Yeah, and
it's kind of like the express lane. They got 14 items or less, huh?
Absolutely, because you ought to hear them cry in court when their attorney goes and tells them the only offer the DA's making you is 6 years in prison at 100%, and they're saying, "Oh, wait a minute, I don't have a record. This is my first felony. I want to, where's my probation I'm entitled to?" The bad news is for them, you're not entitled to probation under those laws. And they're a great tool to be used by your DA's office to get the people off the street that are honest to goodness drug dealers. And, but you have to be careful with it too. It is a big stick. It's a big hammer. And you don't want to charge everybody you can charge with it. If it's a kid selling a friend, a little bag of weed, he's not a drug dealer.
You got to catch him before the seed gets planted.
Right. And, if you're going to use those tough laws, you use it on the right people, the people that need to be taken off your streets and gotten out of your society. And that's what I did in Murray County. I sat down with my officers and I said, if you'll do two things, if you'll charge the right people with this crime and make me cases that I can put in front of a jury, then I won't reduce these charges. They'll go to jail. They'll go to prison. And it's been working. I mean, it's causing me a lot of extra work as a prosecutor because people just don't like to agree to go to jail or prison. So last year I had 14 jury trials, and I'm happy to say that, every one of those guys that I tried last year for selling drugs within 1,000 feet of a school, every one of them are currently in our prison system.
So do you this is my off the wall question for you. Do you have you ever sat down and looked at the hard times and just looked through it and been like, seen him, seen her, seen him, seen her. Oh, I remember that person. You ever look at the hard times?
Well, I rarely look at it. I just not really interested in looking at it because I'm going to see them in court, so I don't need to look through there to see who's been arrested because I'm going to see them. But yeah, when I do look through it, I can pick out the ones I know. Yeah.
So you said you like to hunt. What's I mean, everybody knows deer hunting's a big thing around here. What other game hunting do you like to do that you just get fired up for? What kind of hunting's that?
Well, really, deer hunting's about the only hunting I really do anymore. Now, I used to, when I was a kid, I loved to quail hunt, because back then, quail were everywhere, and you could, where I grew up, you could just walk down the fence rows and kick up a covey and have a good day of hunting. But the quail population's about gone, but I understand it's kind of making a return now, so I'd sure like to go do some quail hunting. Dove hunting's fun. I enjoy that. But usually I've got to at least once or twice a year get out in the woods and climb up a tree and see if a deer will have the bad luck to stroll close by. Yeah.
What's biggest when you killed?
Oh, I hadn't killed any big deer. Trying to think. I think a 6-pointer or something. I'm not a trophy hunter. So I couldn't see those spots from the stand, man.
So do you? I've asked this to all the candidates that's been on the show. What's your official campaign soundtrack? what does the Brent Cooper camp listen to while they're campaigning?
Well, basically, especially in Lawrence County, what I tell people is if you like the way things have been done for the past 30 years, vote for the other guy. Don't vote for me, because I'm going to change things here. This county, out of the 4 counties, this county needs the most work as far as crime and getting the justice system here running efficiently and getting those numbers down as far as the crime statistics for Lawrence County. You know, they're way out of whack right now, and I know how to take that head on. And basically, if you're ready for things to be different, if you're ready for a DA's office that's going to work with the police and in a team effort to fight crime, then I'm your guy.
Sweet. Well, we appreciate you coming, and I'll have to say this is a first because I've never had both candidates for one race show up, and I think that's cool. And I tell you one thing I've appreciated. I appreciate that y'all have kept it down home. Is what I've liked. I've really thought that was cool. Because I honestly think the mudslinging days are about over. As I would say, that's so 1993. That's what I would say, and I appreciate that, and I like the fact that y'all can act civil in a room together. And some candidates can't do that. I mean, we are in the South, and there's nothing like good old Southern politics. I mean, the Northeast, the West, and all that, they ain't seen nothing until they come to the Deep South for some politics. But Brent, appreciate you coming. I'm glad you came. Stop back by and see us anytime. You're welcome on this show. We'll come back. We'll talk hunting.
All right. Well, thanks.
Hey, we'll go fishing one time.
I can't wait.
I like the river. Any chance I get to go to the river, I'm there. I mean, y'all, Brent Cooper, candidate for DA's office, come back and see us.
I will.
Thank you, brother. We'll be right back.
Southern Craft Manufacturing in Loretto, Tennessee blends old world craftsmanship and modern manufacturing for a multitude of steel and brushed finish caskets. Founder Rodney Robinson is dedicated to providing the finest quality at the best value. At Southern Craft Manufacturing, we are committed to choice with a variety of colors and hardware designs for limitless combinations. Southern Craft Manufacturing, North Main Street, Loretto. Toll free 800-413-1778. Elite Sports in Loretto, Tennessee offers serious sports training for athletes of all ages. Our hands-on training approach can increase core strength and stability while maximizing power and agility. Call John Passarella, 256-710-7412 for speed and agility training, or David Weathers, 931-279-0574. Call today. Elite Sports, we're training the best athletes for tomorrow.
Hey, this is Kenny Beckman, and you're watching the Big Fred Show on MustangsTV.com.
We're back. I'm getting tired, y'all. I mean, golly, we've had some guests on here. I'm talking, I see their signs all over town and all over the county, and we get to meet them in person tonight.
Loretta's the happening place.
Hey, I tell you what, I'll always have a special spot in my heart for Loretta. I don't care if I live in Timbuktu. Loretta's always where I'll call home. I mean, and speaking of Loretta, we got the first dude, per se, of Loretta, Jesse Turner, the mayor. He's going to be with us next week, so we just kind of drug him in here and put him on the spot and whatnot. And so we're going to talk a little bit next week about the new pool coming to Loretta. Are you excited about that?
Oh, we are, and we got some great news today about the pool as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, our $125,000 grant has been turned into $250,000.
Woo! Yeah! How about that? So, Jesse, what's a typical day in the life of the mayor of Loretta now? What's it like being mayor?
There's nothing typical about the day in the life of a mayor.
So, what kind of fired you up to run for mayor? What was the tipping point? What got you inspired?
You know, I work with 32 municipalities every day in my regular job, in my day job, and I just saw some things that we were doing down there that was not being done here, and I just wanted to put my experience to work for this city that I love. So that was my
cool. So I wondered, are you the youngest mayor that's ever been elected in Loretto?
I believe so. I think maybe Mr. Green was around 47 or so when he was elected. I don't hold me to that, but that's
my uncle. He's my great uncle.
Okay.
So I got a little bit of mayoral kinship going on. So I'm happy. I live in Lawrenceburg, but when I heard you were running for mayor, I honestly got fired up.
Bill Moore's right there. You better watch it.
I'm sorry for Bill. I mean, Bill's cool because Bill's got the Mustang, and he's got good food, and we need to keep him here cooking big.
Bill and I are good, aren't we, Bill?
Right, we bonded.
That's right.
So it's not awkward or nothing. Y'all are bros now.
Oh yeah. I've been in here 3 or 4 times since, and we're good.
Sweet. Well,
we're happy to have Bill as a business owner here in the town.
Exactly, a very good business owner. A lot of history. Have we got any Jesse Turner memorabilia hanging up in the Mustang?
I've got a signature somewhere around here, but that's probably about it.
Hey, that's a classic. We need to find that signature and put a little gold circle around it. Because got the mayor's autograph on the wall. I mean, so are you planning on, maybe going farther besides mayor, or do you think you'll want to stay in Loretto and just kind of make Loretto an awesome place to live?
My focus is just on making Loretto an awesome place to live.
Sweet.
That's as far as I'm looking.
Well, I think you got a lot of cool stuff going on, and we got you coming next week, so we're not going to ask 1,005 questions. We're just going to get you on here, heck, because we've had everybody else on. So the mayor shows up, why not get him on? I mean, I'm a Jesse Turner guy. I like Jesse. He's cool. And Bill puts out these. I'm just going to tell you, Bill's got some fried pickles here that will blow your mind.
Onion rings, too.
Oh, man. Nothing really is bad at the Mustang. I mean, it's awesome. But, Jesse, thank you for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We're going to have kind of a state of the community address, and I might dress up. I don't know. I'm not a big suit and tie, or you see what I got on. I mean, I might wear a bow. Y'all think I should rock a bow tie next week? What do y'all think? Should I rock a bow tie? Yeah. I don't own a bow tie.
Go buy you one.
I might have to borrow one from somebody. If somebody will find me a bow tie, I'll make a promise. If somebody can procure me a bow tie next week on the Big Fred Show, when we're all fancy and got all the dignitaries with us, I'll wear a bow tie next week. So I'm putting it out there. So whoever comes up with a bow tie, I don't care if it's a cheesy tuxedo bow tie. I can't tie a bow. I can't even tie a real tie. So, I mean, and let me tell you, Jesse was styling and profiling last week when the governor was up here. I mean, he got up there and he was looking sharp, y'all. I had the suit and the tie and whatnot. I'm proud of him. He got up there and showed up and showed out for us. That's what I like about him. Jesse, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate the invite. Good seeing you.
Thank you, brother. And we'll be right back.
Your number one Mustang fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Loretto Insurance Services, a winning combination. We'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call Loretto Insurance Services in Loretto today, 931-853-7126. Go Mustangs and Lady Mustangs from LHS Boosters Club, dedicated to Mustang athletics.
Hey folks, this is Ben Luna, and you're watching The Big Fred Show on Mustangs TV.
Elite Sports in Loretto, Tennessee offers serious sports training for athletes of all ages. Our hands-on training approach can increase core strength and stability while maximizing power and agility. Call John Passarella 256-710-7412 for speed and agility training, or David Weathers 931-279-0574. Call today. Elite Sports. We're training the best athletes for tomorrow.
We're back. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. And
I'm Bill. You're back?
I'm back, and this is Bill.
Okay.
Bill, I want to tell you what an honor it is to be. I call this the Mustang Hall of Fame. I mean, to have anything Loretta Mustangs, you've got to be featured in this restaurant. I mean,
nothing unless you're
this right here is like, it's hallowed halls for Loretta history. I'll say that. And I just want to thank you for letting us come down and do the show here.
Hey, Pam and I was tickled to death that y'all came. I'll be honest, Fred. I wasn't real familiar with the Big Fred show, but I am a fan now. Let me tell you what. I like the way, y'all present this stuff and the people that, you get in here to talk. And I mean, there's nothing, this is serious and then have fun at the same time. It's good for this community. That's great.
We want to know what people's like with their hair down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
some of us don't have much, but some of us have got a lot.
Yeah. I'm really a quiet, shy guy, and so there's a lot of times that I don't, come out and cut up and carry on like I should. But it's great.
And I'm skinny and got long hair too.
I was thinking you was talking about these pickles.
Dude.
I remember 5 years ago when I opened this thing up, this man weighed 80 pounds. Now look at him.
I did. 80 pounds.
Don't tell me I can't put meat on a bone.
I was 5 pounds shy of having my own Feed the Children commercial.
Really?
But I come to Mustang, ate some large catfish. It was good stuff. And I just want to tell you, these pickles right here are amazing. I've eaten fried pickles before, and these, I love them.
Good. Well, not only we got pickles, we pride ourselves on here. And I heard Brother Williams and Brent Cooper and them talk about our fish and stuff. Hey, our policy around here, if it's not the best food you can order anywhere in a restaurant, you tell Pam or I, and you're not charged for it. Okay? Nobody beats our food. Nobody. I mean, we got the best onion rings in the world. We got the only plate lunches you can basically get in this area. I mean, all you people watching this Mustang TV, we need your support also. We're a big supporter of the community, and we need your help too down here. So, come and eat with us. And it's amazing, Fred. There's still people in this town that live in this town that's never eaten with us down here.
Oh, that's a shame.
Try it. I promise you'll love it. I promise. But anyway.
Well, Bill, I thank you for letting us come, and I'm gonna let you help us close it out and whatnot. And what?
What do you mean close it out? What?
Well, this is
sing or do a little dance.
Well, we got the table here if you want to dance.
Not with this. This dude like me is getting a little wild. It's getting late,
Well, Bill, thank you, brother.
You guys come back anytime. I mean, this is good news, and we've enjoyed having you.
Mustangs TV at the Mustang. How about that?
I love it. Thank y'all for coming. Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for being here. Thank everybody who was a guest on tonight's show. Everybody, I'm truly honored that y'all watched my show. I'm truly blessed. And like I said, this show is just as much y'all show as it is mine. Y'all, thank y'all. And as always, what do we say? Stay lovely, y'all. See y'all.